Whether you love him or hate him, he's taking everyone on the journey with him, and he's certainly being upfront. He's not hiding away in the basement like Joe Biden. He's been communicating non-stop, and new data shows this. Data shows that in his first month, Donald Trump has taken more than 1,000 questions, 1,009 to be precise. And how does that compare to his predecessor? Well, Joe Biden didn't even make it to 150.
I want to thank you all for being here. And now, who am I introducing next? Who's next?
Distinguished guests, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
How many times did we have to witness moments like those where Joe Biden had no clue what was going on or what he was even saying?
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to I signed the PAC Act into law.
He had tied that fall. He decided to look. I shouldn't get into this.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
We cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
And it appears that journalists from left-wing media outlets have finally caught on. There was a major scandal there. And after many years, and now that Joe Biden's out of power, they're finally going to bring you the news that journalists here at Sky News have been bringing you for years. CNN anchor Jake Tapper is co-authoring a new book, Original Sin, detailing the former president's mental decline and the efforts to cover it up, which is interesting, coming from someone who, while Joe Biden was president, insisted that there was no mental decline and no cover-up.
Is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have no. That's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
When you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar. Plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you.
The truth is finally being admitted by some, and it is far too late. Americans don't need a book to tell them about the mental decline and the cover-up. They were watching it for themselves in real time and watching Democrats and outlets like CNN lie about it. Now, Donald Trump is moving ahead at lightning speed, and journalists are openly admitting that they're struggling to keep up.
The pace of the Trump administration seems to be moving pretty quickly. How are you holding up?
It is insane. And I think everyone is kind of like readjusting and re-remembering what it was like 4 years ago, 4 years ago. I remember when Biden first took office in January, the New York Times wrote the story about how quiet the weekends were, because for reporters, every weekend had just been like it was like a 7-day work week. And now we're back to that, basically, where it's just essentially nonstop every day. You kind of wake up like not knowing what you're going to be doing, what the schedule is. I was walking to get breakfast one day this week. I was like, okay, I'm going to have a nice little breakfast before I go to work. And halfway there, they were like, Trump's doing a press conference in an hour. And I physically ran back home so I could change and get ready.
I feel like that's how we all live now, is we would not be surprised to see someone we know from CNN running.
The days of no updates from the president on weekends under Joe Biden's leadership are well and truly over. And the days are back where journalists better be prepared when they're putting questions to the president.
The spending bill that passed last night aims to cut $2 trillion.
Right.
Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, you shouldn't be asking me that question, okay?